Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. Special edition.
Special Tuesday edition because I was moving and that's why the episode hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
We're going to have a bye week. We're
That's
taking there's a bye week.
There's a bye week. That's fair.
Because I didn't plan properly. That's ultimately the reason.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We're pretty good at planning ahead. If like, oh, we're going to be out of town. But
yeah.
You weren't out of town.
Well, and I didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
Because normally I edit the podcasts on Friday and set them to upload overnight.
Yeah.
Friday night to Saturday morning. Then they release on Saturday at 11. Sometimes they either take a long time uploading or there's a problem.
There's some
Sometimes
issue.
It just tells me no. Like
Thanks,
I've had that
YouTube.
happen like once or twice where it's just like, oh yeah, this was 95% done. It's gone.
Goodbye. Gee.
So I'm like, okay. So like around 11 o'clock is when I try to get it out, and sometimes it's late, sometimes it's a day late for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think I've set it to upload. I log it on my computer. It doesn't tell me anything, and then I look at it, and it's like, oh, I forgot to put this on public instead of private.
Right. That's an easy enough swap, but
yeah. So,
but you were busy, so
and I just completely skipped my mind because I wasn't going anywhere. Like I wasn't like planning anything.
Yeah.
So
but you'd already packed up all your computer stuff.
Yeah, all my computer stuff was packed up on Wednesday, I believe.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's why we're having a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a bye week.
Be a 53-week year.
That's right. That just means we got tons to talk about today.
Kind of.
Big news. So much big news.
So many big things. Big news.
Or at the very least, we have lots of little things.
Which make a big thing.
Yes. That's math.
Jeez.
I think it's the guys across the street, right?
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's this neighbor.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, they're some of our most treasured listeners, all right? So we can't talk bad about them here, yeah.
I'm sure they listen to a Magic the Gathering podcast all the time.
We can talk about cars sometimes, and
I like cars.
Cars are cool.
I like cars. I go to Barrett Jackson. I go to...
What's your opinion on the Honda Fit?
A Honda Fit?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I have an opinion about it other than it's a Honda Fit.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fair.
You looking at getting one?
I don't know. I just saw a meme. It was like any sort of guy can talk about a Honda Fit. You're like, oh yes, like it's decent gas mileage, and oh yeah, or it's a Honda Fit. Like,
yeah, I think that's my opinion. Is like, I mean, if you have to,
that's just like the baseline car, I guess, that every guy can talk about.
It's kind of like a Nissan Versa.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, who would drive a Nissan Versa? That's stupid.
Our one loyal listener drove one in high school.
You got to be really lame to drive a Versa.
Super lame.
Oh,
it's probably gay too.
Gay? Yeah.
He has no friends either.
Wow.
That might be
See the subscriber count go down
by one
next week. Oh boy.
No comment. Like,
ooh, that would be good. That's funny.
We love you.
Yes. Cars are great.
Yeah, I like cars. Anyway,
not our main topic.
No.
Random side topic. I am looking at vehicles, but yes.
Oh, well, we'll have to discuss it offline.
Yeah, sure.
You have to tell me what you're looking at.
Affordable stuff.
So, a bike?
Yes. I did buy a new bike tire. Conveniently.
There you go.
Yeah.
How long would that bike ride be to work?
Oh, jeez. It's
an hour and a half?
As the crow flies, it's 20 miles.
Oh, geez. So you're probably looking at, I mean, if you could do 10 miles an hour, which is probably pretty doable, that's
fairly doable.
2 hours.
2 hours.
As the crow flies.
As the crow flies, so at least 2 hours. Yeah.
And if you could zigzag your way there, it's probably 28 miles.
Mm-hmm.
If you do the trigonometry.
Yeah, you know? Right. The most optimal routes.
Yeah.
It would be rough. I might as well just live at work at that point.
Some employers would like that.
Yeah. So tell me about the movie that I didn't get to see because just scheduling didn't work out.
It's so good.
A Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes. Went 2 Saturdays ago now at this point. Mm-hmm. No, 1 Saturday ago.
1 Saturday ago.
Yeah, so there was last Saturday and then the Saturday before that. Is that 2 or 1?
It was the second Saturday out.
Yeah. The Saturday after it came out. Ryan and I went and saw it in the morning, right after filming the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it definitely is a fantastic movie.
Cool.
Like,
High praise.
very high praise, entertaining throughout. There's, it's probably, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to claim this throughout the rest of the year, but so far my favorite movie of the year.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And probably, I mean, I've seen quite a few movies recently, but like none of them are coming. I'm not recalling any that were better than this one. Like
none of them stick in your mind as much.
Yeah.
Like there's those movies you're like, oh, that was fun, that was entertaining, but then like I don't know, a week later you kind of forget about it.
Yeah, and this one was really, really fantastic. Guy Ritchie, who is becoming like one of my favorite directors.
Apparently, yeah, accidentally.
It's completely accidentally. He did the Gentleman TV show and movie.
And the
which
movie.
I don't. Have you seen the movie yet?
I need to though. My dad's seen the movie, and I got him into the TV show. So then we were both talking about like the crossovers.
The movie is just, if not better than the TV show.
Yeah,
in my opinion, for the Gentleman. It has Matthew McConaughey in it and Guy Ritchie directing it. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah, right. It's pretty good.
But Guy Ritchie wrote and directed this Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, based off of a true story that got declassified, I believe, in 2016.
That is not that long ago.
No,
Wow.
It was from Winston Churchill's War Diaries, and it was about the creation of what is now like the SAS, right? Or maybe not the SAS, but one of like the
British Secret Service,
British Secret Service, MI5, MI6, all those other things, you know. Yeah. And basically, they were just this group of guys who were less than ideal, less than gentlemanly, as the title implies, and you know, a lot of times society needs those types of people, and they found their niche right there in the war. A
crazy, like, last-ditch effort, like, you're the only man for the job.
Yep, and, you know, there was... The dialogue was fantastic, the action was fantastic.
Henry Cavill acting.
I mean, Henry Cavill, just in general. Like,
always good.
You can't go wrong there. Alan Richson,
I think so.
The guy who plays Reacher, can do a really good Norwegian accent.
Interesting. I didn't know his character was Norwegian.
Yeah, he's a Norwegian. His brother died fighting the Nazis, and then he grew up basically like they imply he's kind of a psychopath because he grew up hunting in like the Norwegian the forests of Norway. And just like is amazing with a bow and a knife and an axe and any bladed weapon, but he never uses a gun. Like
never uses a gun. Okay,
he does, but it's like rare.
The trailers, always show him with the bow shots. I'm like, all right, you got to be some kind of crazy to take a bow to go kill Nazis.
Well, and part of the story
that's wild.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of crazy people like that. There are war stories from World War I and World War II.
I think you told me the guy who's got the bow.
The guy in World War I who charged the trenches with a bow and arrow. So there's also the guy in World War I who wore a kilt. Well, a lot of them wore kilts, but played the bagpipes while charging the trenches.
That's right.
And World War II, same type of thing. There's these
crazy
mavericks who are like, they're just put in a hardcore mode. They're like, oh, war, this is easy. It's like, I don't know.
Crazy.
They're playing like they have infinite respawns.
And so the movie sounds like a blast because it's just that.
And what's crazy is that like, this type of movie is the movie where you're like, I can't believe that happened, but the way they made me like watch the movie, it definitely happened exactly like that.
I did kind of hear that the special effects or lack thereof make it look practical. Like it doesn't seem like sci-fi, you know? It doesn't seem far-fetched.
No, there was nothing like
even the explosions.
The silencers were a little bit quiet, but like not overly so.
Okay, yeah.
And like the way they go about everything is it's really good. One thing that I really enjoyed is the lack of written humor.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't forced.
There was no forced humor. So I'll give an example of this.
Yeah.
In many of the Disney Marvel movies,
Marvel, yeah.
there are these jokes that they're chuckle worthy sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes they land.
But they feel forced. They don't feel forced. They are forced jokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the writers, especially in like the latest Thor, like Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's what I was thinking. Took the words out of my mouth.
Like there's these jokes, and you're like, okay, the writers aren't telling a story and then having like a joke interspersed here and there. They have these jokes that they want to make, and then they're bending this story around those jokes. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I think the reason for that is because the first Marvel movies, the first Hulk doesn't count, but I'm thinking like
the modern MCU.
Yeah, so like the first Iron Man, you have Robert Downey Jr., who could be a stand-up comedian with like his quick quips.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
And he brought that into the acting, and I'm sure there were some written jokes in there, but the way he delivered them made it feel unforced, right?
I agree.
And I think they wanted to copy and paste that formula, and then they just kind of started piling. They're like,
By the end,
well, let's make this, like, let's take this idea and just add another layer. And then I add another layer. And like the first movies where they added the layers, it was imperceptible because it's just a thin layer. Mm-hmm. But after movie 32, there's 32 extra layers of comedy on top of this storyline.
Hey guys, we need some more jokes in here.
So, A Ministry of Ungentleman Warfare
did not do that.
It was very much that original Iron Man type humor, mm-hmm. where I'm sure that there were written jokes or written, you know, funny aspects. They didn't feel that way. It felt like the actors doing something funny and like being given the creative freedom to like say something that was in the script in a different way that makes it funnier.
Comparison to like Bob Odenkirk's character in Nobody, right? Like that's another kind of dark action movie. Mm-hmm. That I find was not like forced humor, but it just seemed like they kind of just let him cook, you know, just let the actor be funny on set.
Yeah.
And then the character, it feels natural.
Exactly. That's exactly
when his character is like monologuing to the guys he's beaten up and knocked out and they're all tied up on his couch. He's monologuing his whole backstory, which you don't know by that point in the movie. And then by the end of the backstory, they're all dead on the couch. He's like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah.
Like, all right. That was good. That was like realistic, quote unquote, realistic humor. It wasn't like, I need to tell a funny joke right as they die. Like, no, it was just.
Yeah. And I think the best way I think one of the reasons that this movie doesn't feel forced is because it is a group of guys, and there are a couple female characters, but the main characters are, well, no, one of the main characters is female. She did a great job as well.
On the main team, yeah.
I don't even know. She's an actress I didn't really know before this. She's actually in Three Body Problem.
Oh, all right.
Which I still highly recommend.
Still have not started.
Anyway, she did great. She was playing the femme fatale or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I think that a lot of these the humor in the movie didn't feel forced was because it felt like jokes that you and your boys would make if you were in that situation.
Yeah, sounds great. That sounds perfect.
So like there are instances where one of them will get hurt, and for example, one of the guys gets shot through the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right? And this is not gonna. I'm trying not to spoil anything that happened, right? And so he gets shot through the shoulder, and the other guy puts him onto the ground and says, like, well, get up. Or rather, the guy falls onto the ground, and his buddy looks at him. He's like, get up. You're not hurt. So the guy's like, oh, okay. And like gets up after getting shot and is like has a bullet hole in his shoulder, but is like, that was funny, it's right? Classic.
Rub some dirt in it.
Exactly.
Just you joshing with your bros.
Exactly. It's if it had been a more irreverent movie, and if there hadn't been a culture of cancel culture, there would have been a million dick jokes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Because they
would have. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And
we're reading Winston Churchill's diary or whatever. They reported all the dick jokes or something like.
But yeah, no, I can't recommend it highly enough.
Cool.
Definitely a movie I would rewatch.
Nice.
Even in theaters, I would go again to go see it.
That's decent. Yeah. So that's good.
I haven't said that about many other movies. So.
Yeah, these days it's not. You don't find many like that. I told you I was trying to keep pretty spoiler free because I do want to go see it.
Yeah.
It's the one the two things I'd heard not spoilers, but the like, it wasn't killing it in the box office, but we're also in a slow movie season before summertime, so that's kind of understandable. And then the second thing I got spoiled was that there probably won't be a sequel. I guess the main character, Henry Cavill's character, he actually died on a mission like a year after that. Like he didn't survive the whole war. Like, oh. That's what I'd heard, at least. Or at least one of the main characters. I assumed it was Henry Cavill's character when I read that.
They went through all of the main characters at the end with like a real bio.
Oh, they did a little bio.
And I don't remember. There was one of them who was captured.
I guess maybe I'll have to fact check that.
I don't remember. I don't remember if any of them. I don't think any of them died though at the end of the war. Before the end of the war.
Oh wow! All right. I'll fact check that.
I would be surprised. It would be unfortunate if they don't do a sequel, because I think it was fantastic, and I think it's going to do really well on streaming.
Oh yeah, and like that was early days of the war. I mean,
yeah.
So
yeah, well, it was prior to the U.S. getting involved.
Yeah, so presumably there's more stories they can tell.
Oh, for sure. There's millions of stories from World War II that you can tell. There are entire YouTube channels dedicated to that. You know. Yeah. I did see a couple things about it not doing super well and like it not being a good movie online.
Oh, really?
And I thought that was just absolute ridiculous.
Just
rhetoric.
Turn your brain off. Go watch it with your boys.
Like, you have to turn your brain off.
Yeah. You didn't even say that. You didn't even say, the story was bad, but it was good fun. Like, no, yeah, you said it was fine.
The story was fantastic. The writing on it, like I said, Guy Ritchie wrote it and directed it, and he just did it very, very well.
Cool.
The writing felt true to the source material, and I don't even know the source material that well.
Yeah.
Right. But like, it felt like something that would actually happen, and they closed the movie very well.
That's good.
They close it to where you don't need a sequel, but it leaves it open for a sequel as well.
Cool.
They finalized the mission.
Spoilers: the Nazis lose.
Spoilers if you haven't been to a history class. The Nazis lose.
Find out in part 2.
Electric Boogaloo? World War II Part 2, 2024?
Wait a second.
Have you seen... I think we talked about this before. The new U.S. National Guard ad?
Yes.
How we're the next greatest generation?
Yes, they did say yes.
Which is hilarious.
That is pretty hilarious.
The best psyop I've ever heard. Yeah, we're the next greatest generation. 3 months later, dying in trench warfare.
I don't think that's the word you meant to use there. You just wanted to say we're a great generation, not the greatest generation.
The next greatest generation.
The next great, yeah, that was pretty deliberate.
I mean, it had to be, right?
Oh, sorry, that was just a little, what do they call it? A little
Freudian
slip. I didn't mean to say the next greatest generation.
Should we give some background on that, or are we just going to let it lie?
I mean, that's what they called the generation in World War One.
Yeah. So those who fought during World War One, that
who survived, came home, had kids,
was called the greatest generation because it was the war. It was the Great War.
The Great War, right? Yeah.
So they were called the greatest generation because they fought and survived the Great War.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a part 2, which defeated the purpose of calling it the Great War.
The greater war.
Which actually it was.
Yeah, it was objectively.
War. Yeah, a lot more people died.
Yeah.
In both worse and better conditions.
Yeah, I'd almost be intrigued to compare from different.
Like you have trench warfare, which blows.
Yeah.
For everyone.
But then we got the Geneva Convention, so there was at least more humane.
Well, but then you had the fighting in World War II wasn't trench warfare, so it was better fighting.
Better fighting, yeah.
It's still war, so it still sucks.
Still terrible.
But it's better than trench warfare and getting having to figure out what mustard gas is for the first time.
Yeah, or just not having food.
But then on the other side of that, you also have
concentration camps,
death camps,
concentration camps,
Auschwitz.
Yeah.
So it's they kind of even out. They're kind of
they were both great and terrible. I think we can say that.
Yeah.
Great as in they're bad.
Yeah.
They even out.
So to call us the next greatest generation is implying that
there's a war on the horizon.
Well, and we spoke about this, is that historians 100 years from now are going to look at today or 3 months ago,
or
a year ago,
October 7th, or
when Russia invaded Ukraine,
which was 2 years ago. I don't know.
Has it been 2
a year and change?
Because wasn't it March of 2022.
Oh, it could be March.
Something.
Yeah. It's at least a year.
Oh yeah. Oh
For
yeah.
sure.
I think at least a year and a half. I would want to say.
Sure.
Or thereabouts. Anyway,
but yeah, historians will probably say, yeah, that was probably the start.
so for them to say the next greatest generation is hilarious. I thought it was one of the funniest jokes of this year. Oh, it's so funny. That ad played before the Unjust Money Warfare movie.
Oh wow,
Which
they haven't taken that ad down yet. They don't.
No.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny.
We can't be the only ones to notice that.
I hope not. If we are, then the rest of the world, we should have another World War.
Right.
Cold the gene pool a little bit more.
Who made this ad and who kept it up? Come on, guys. Ugh.
Anyway.
Talking of Russia.
Segue.
Speaking of Russia, I've heard that there's a place there called Tarkov and that people would like to escape from it. I'm done with the bad segue. That's all I got.
I mean, if I was in Russia, I'd also want to escape.
Yeah, never mind. I won't go there.
Although, if you're a Tucker Carlson fan, you would say the opposite.
You're like, oh, actually, I wouldn't mind staying there.
Sorry, before we get to that, I was listening to Tucker Carlson on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Did you see it? Did you watch the entire thing?
Not the whole thing, but I saw the clips that everybody.
It was long. It was like 3.5 hours.
Exactly. I just saw the 5 to 10 minutes everybody was talking about.
There's a lot of those because he said some wild crap.
Yeah, dude, they get him. They always give him too much weed before they go in there or something.
He's sober.
Oh,
he doesn't drink.
Tucker was sober saying all of that.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The only thing he does is he does those Zyn pouches, the nicotine.
Oh,
pouches.
the nicotine pouch. Yeah.
It's basically just dip. But,
yeah.
Dude, he said some wild crap, and then was just making these absurd claims and being
ridiculous.
Look it up. Just it's obvious. You can't deny it. It's just fact. It's
oh no, man.
You just did the biggest mental jump from oh yeah, I think the government's hiding stuff. Aliens are spiritual beings.
Aliens.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah.
The government lied to me, so therefore their aliens exist and they're spiritual beings from heaven.
Right.
Or hell, whichever one you prefer.
That was the weirdest. I'm generally a pretty neutral guy in person. I have strong opinions, but in person or on the internet, I'm just whatever. I'm feel like I'm pretty chill. I just can't imagine someone just saying these outlandish claims and just with a straight face, yeah. It's kind of controversial, dude. No, just look it up.
And then you
okay.
Yeah.
That takes me back of it takes me aback.
Well, yeah. and then he made the wildest claim about dropping a bomb on. You saw this one.
This one, yeah. This one was just.
And everyone was
retarded.
Everyone agrees that the Japanese agree that the dropping of the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was warranted and reasonable and a good thing.
It ended the war.
It ended the war.
His comments on this.
We opened up the sun.
His comments on this were so funny because there was the backlash was not political at all. Left or right, it didn't matter. It was just you're very wrong on this.
You're super wrong on this.
He was no, America shouldn't have dropped the bombs. That was evil to drop the bomb. I'm okay, yes. And he was yeah, they should have done anything else. His take was just so you can acknowledge that dropping the nuclear bomb was bad and that it killed people, but he was saying they should not have done that. They should have done a land invasion of Japan and killed hundreds of millions more people.
Well, it's I think it's so silly because he claims he's a student of history.
This isn't even an argument in history class.
No one's arguing that this was a bad thing. No
historians dispute this.
Left, right, center, anarchist, communist.
Historians from all over the country or all over the world.
Everyone's they were between a rock and a hard place. It was either drop the bomb or kill tens of millions of people.
Yep.
Those were the options.
Yep.
And so what did they do? They dropped the bomb. Did they kill a lot of people? Yes. Guess what they had been doing for a year prior to that? Firebombing the living hell out of Tokyo.
Yep.
And you know why we decided to choose Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
Not that many people.
Well, and also, Because Tokyo was gone.
Also true.
There was no Target in Tokyo.
There was nothing left.
And one of the funnier reasons that we chose, I can't remember if it was Hiroshima or Nagasaki, was because that was one of the only remaining Christian cities.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the rationale was like, they're Christian, they're going to heaven anyway.
Oh, my goodness. I can see that in some like old general's report, like, oh, well, at least we killed a bunch of Christians.
That's literally one of the...
Goodness.
Like, not the main reason, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like one of like
Just a little side note.
like, hey, by the way, these guys are going to heaven, so like,
We're good.
give them an express ticket.
And we dropped leaflets, like we notified them. Obviously we tried threatening them, saying, hey, we have something coming, you need to surrender, and nobody was willing to surrender. Like,
after the first one, we said, hey, we're gonna do it again if you don't surrender.
we got more.
Japan, we could have dropped one bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Japan was like, stack up, bro. And so we're like, fine, here comes the Sun Part 2.
Part 2.
And then they're like, oh, we shouldn't have called that bluff.
Yeah.
And then,
We didn't tell them how many we had, because we didn't have any more.
well, we were supposed to, but we lost.
Yeah.
Did you know?
We just told them we're going to drop some bombs.
Did you know more nuclear bombs have been dropped over America
Oh my goodness.
by bombers
As accidents.
as accidents than have actually
my
been dropped in
goodness.
warfare?
Were they accidentally dropped so they just like they didn't arm the warheads beforehand, or
The warheads weren't armed,
yeah, okay,
but yeah, there's been like two.
that's pretty.
I think it
funny.
was South Carolina. Like, just like dropped 2 nukes over South Carolina
Oh, fun.
and just had to figure out how to get them back
Yeah,
from
right.
like the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, jeez.
You imagine like a moonshiner just
Oh my goodness.
radioactive symbol, just like classic nuclear bomb.
I'm thinking of just like the logistical nightmare to like lug that thing out of there. Like, there's no infrastructure to.
I'm sure they had like a heavy lift helicopter or something that came in and like picked it up.
Had to have been. Did we have just like? I mean, obviously we didn't have VTOLs, but just like. Yeah,
I don't know.
Stick a giant magnet on the helicopter.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but yeah, it's
Crazy.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Anyway.
wild takes.
And like everyone on the right is like, oh my gosh, Tucker Carlson. Before the interview, I think everyone was like, Tucker Carlson is so brave for going to Russia, and
He's
like,
our
wow,
man.
we should look at Russia more. And like, I'll admit, like, I was like, some of the videos he showed, I was like, that is interesting. Like,
Interesting, sure.
you know,
I'm generally a fan of journalism.
Yeah, for sure.
At all, like just exposing
Honest
things,
journalism.
yeah, honest journalism, exposing corruption and all that. Yeah, excellent, great. I love honest journalism.
and then
but-
he came out and sounded like the main page of like 4chan.
yeah, that was some weird takes.
You had aliens and drugs and like government conspiracy theories and politics. It was like, whoa, this is wild.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyway, now we can
Anyway.
crawl out of that rabbit hole.
But on to more controversies. We got
Of course.
several controversies to talk about this week. So that was just the start. Escape from Tarkov. I believe we've talked about before, is a popular competitive shooter. It's
Realistic shooter?
realistic. Yeah.
Is it competitive? Do they have like?
I mean, it's only competitive in that, like, because of the buy-in. There's a significant amount of money attached to just playing the game, I thought.
I don't know. I thought you could buy the game and then you had to like I think you had to earn the weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never played the game, so I could be wrong.
I'm almost positive it's more popular overseas, outside of the States, than inside the States.
Mm.
I'd have to double check the numbers on that, but it seems like it's bigger globally. But it's a fairly big game, and I know it's, at the very least, it's renowned for kind of having some expensive
Mm-hmm.
packs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have heard some, but you can probably even add extra controversies. The big one I heard this week is that since we always talk about like game companies like upcharging and upselling new stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they came out with a pack, a bundle for $250.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which doesn't include the things that were in the previous $150 bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, like nothing was smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it wasn't just like $250 of cosmetics. It was like actual content.
Well, and you got matchmaking queue priority.
Yes, yep, queue priority. You got in you get access to the new game mode that they're designing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which
I'm not super mad about that part. If you want to support the game and you are like given access to this new beta game mode, that seems reasonable.
It's intriguing.
If it was only that and it was like, yeah, like I wouldn't be mad about if like you bought a cosmetic bundle and it was like the founders supporter pack or whatever, and it was like, oh, all revenue from this pack is going to go towards developing this game mode.
Yeah,
it's like a Kickstarter type thing where like you purchase it and then you get like this cool cosmetic, but also you get access to the beta of this like game mode. I wouldn't be mad about that if it was only that.
If it was only that,
yeah. But sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine, because as part of the access to the new game mode is it's a player versus environment, PvPvE.
Oh.
And if you buy the super mega,
I thought that was the game anyway. I thought there were NPCs in the game already.
So maybe I'm getting it mixed up. Maybe the new game mode is just PvP, but if you buy the bundle, you get you basically get like safe mode you can turn on from the NPCs. The NPCs don't shoot you.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's retarded. So I didn't know if that was in the original game mode or the new game mode.
Because I believe, and like I said, I've not played. I've watched a decent amount. I mean,
yeah.
I don't watch like Tarkov content, but some of the content creators that I watch play Tarkov, and so every once in a while I'll click on one.
They
of
have
their
a clip,
videos, right? And watch 20 minutes of gameplay or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is like the highlights from like 17 hours of gameplay or whatever it is.
That is that style of game.
It is, yeah.
Because it's a big multiplayer online world. It's like live time.
Yep. And
tactical
you have
shooter.
to extract and it's really a cool.
I think they're calling them extraction shooters. Now that you said that, that's ringing a bell. That style now.
They're pretty cool. I like the idea of an extraction shooter.
It's pretty high adrenaline.
Yeah.
Usually.
Anyway, so I was. What was I saying?
You were watching some content.
Just from watching the content, I think it is always PvPvE.
Okay.
And so this new mode must only be PvP.
I think so.
But the PvPvE, like the NPCs, from what I've seen, are just dog crap.
Oh yeah, their AI is just terrible anyway.
Yeah, like they're just like shooting into the air, and like you can goodness. They don't wear any like armor or anything like that. I mean,
weird. Okay.
So I don't know what it does look like a really fun game.
It seems like a fun game, but I don't know if the developers.
The buy-in, though, you're right. I believe the like starting price is over $100 to buy the game.
Just like shameless cash grabs. Again, they had the $150 bundle a while ago that was supposed to get you access to like all the a season pass, like all the new content. And then they said, no, actually, here's the $250 version that gets you access to the season pass and all the new content.
Yeah, that's so much money.
And then I don't play the game, but I can understand the controversy.
Well, and then you can lose your stuff.
Yeah,
like you don't have like a safe mode. Like
if you die in the game, you die.
If you die, your stuff's gone. I've played a game. It's an extraction shooter, but it's in space. It's called Marauders. I got it in the. I don't even think it's in the beta. I think it's in like the alpha.
The alpha.
And I had to like go onto like their website and sign up to like even be able to get like a download code.
Oh, okay, neat.
But it looked super fun, and it was super fun. You have a spaceship and you fly it around, and you have this. Basically, you're in an asteroid belt and like with moon bases and satellites, and you can go all around all these different places. And there's ship-to-ship combat, and then you can also board other people's ships in these like drill pods that you just like rocket yourself into the enemy ship and like.
Cool.
It's like pretty fun game. Really difficult because there's inertia.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
Inertia in space sucks.
That is hard to do well on a video game. I know that's realistic, but.
Yeah,
most video games just tend to not because it's kind of complicated.
Yeah, but it feels realistic, and the recoil on guns is ridiculous. Anyway,
but you're in space,
which would make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was I even going with that?
Played this extraction shooter.
I've played extraction shooter.
It was fun.
They're very fun.
Yeah.
Very difficult games, and you do lose all your crap when you die. Like anything that was on your person or your ship is gone. You have to start from. I think they have like a starting pistol.
Yeah.
And then you have to go find like the rest of everything.
Yeah, that's wild to me. I don't have to jump into this topic today, but man, that style of game, I was out for a while in Argentina when battle royales got popular, and I came back, and now it's like, yeah, everybody was doing these. You start from nothing every time you play, and I'm like, oh, that is.
Well, it's not every time you play that you start from
But
nothing.
just if you die.
Ones. It's only if you die.
I'm like, that's.
But if you've won a match or you've gotten out during a match,
You escape, yeah.
You escape with everything you have,
mm-hmm.
and you can put that in a cache.
You can save it for later.
You can save it, and so then you keep. The idea is eventually you'll like get this really good gear, and then if you lose it, you can go back down one tier of gear.
You got your backups.
Exactly.
Like, it just seems very stressful.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I think I think both of us are correct on this. I think you're right, and that it would be very, very stressful. It's not like Pal World where you can turn off turn off death drop.
I don't want to lose my inventory when I die. That's just an inconvenience.
It really, yeah. But I mean, if that's the style of gameplay, like that, that's the game, right? And if you find enjoyment out of that game, good, like congratulations. Mm-hmm. Just not for us. Yeah,
and I don't approve of the shameless cash grabs companies these days.
Yeah. No, the cash. Yeah, that aspect is just ridiculous, and I don't even think the game is out technically. I think it's still in beta.
Who's spending $250 on a game in beta?
I don't think it's. I don't even think it's had like a soft release.
Is it just because developers need some more money to fund the war in Russia? Soviet Russia.
That's funny. I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh about that though.
Okay, we can pause that. Then we don't have to go down that line of thinking. The developers are Russian.
They are.
That is.
I don't think. I think they're a pretty small development team though.
Yeah.
They're very. I think they're an indie company. Mm-hmm. At least they were when they came out.
And they probably don't have an AI designer. So
probably not.
No.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't know. I it's very strange all these companies just doing these cash grabs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what what do you think the reason is for all these different things?
Like how we mentioned the Blizzard and stuff.
Do you think it's just they think that there's more money than there actually is in the economy, and so they think that people can afford it?
I've heard an argument. Do you
think
that
people can't afford it?
Yeah, the amount of people who will buy the thing at $100 is less than twice the amount of people who'd buy the thing at $50. Right? Mm-hmm. So that I've heard that's the reasoning behind kind of the outrageous prices. There's some people who just are so engrossed in the game, they'll just buy everything. And so they're looking at the analytics of like, okay, what price point can we get those people to buy everything anyway, but maybe still get some of these guys who only buy some things or are reluctant unless they're very convinced.
That seems really stupid though, because the way companies have done that, the entire existence of gaming companies basically has been through either expanded content, DLCs, or through cosmetic stuff.
Cosmetics, yeah.
And I mean, World of Warcraft is a great example of this. Not to use World of Warcraft as a great example of anything.
Hey,
but
that's fair.
They have a base subscription, and that gets you basically the entire game.
The whole game, yeah.
And then you can buy cosmetic upgrades for lots of money if you want to.
A lot of money, yeah.
And so it's like you capture both segments of your market there,
But then they also have achievements, cool cosmetics that you can't buy.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, and that rewards those people who play your game religiously, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to do, right?
Good system. Until we mentioned they started letting you just buy some things that used to be great achievements.
Well,
that's weird.
But so it's just interesting to me to see like a game that already has a high barrier to entry. Well, maybe like I was speaking of Escape from Tarkov specifically, right? Relatively high barrier to entry on purchase price of the game.
Yep.
Plus, whatever upgrades you are able to buy generally, I mean, let's say that the average person playing Escape from Tarkov is in $250
because you've spent money on stuff.
Yeah,
get better.
So
at the
maybe
game.
That's their idea. Is like, hey, our target audience, the people who already are playing this game, have already spent $250. What's another $250?
Right.
I don't know. That's
maybe. No, it's the people complaining don't even play the game because they're cheapos or something.
But do you think that they would want to not to continue monologuing about this or dialoguing about this?
Get new audience?
Not only get new audience, but reward the players who are playing the game.
Yeah.
And it's, I feel like there is a better way for them to do that, but I don't know. I wonder if you could do, like, I know you can see how many hours you've played the game on Steam, right?
Yeah,
And I'm sure gaming companies
track that.
can track how long you've played their game. You've been logged into their servers or something like that,
Yep.
actively logged into their servers. There should be like some sort of like reward for hitting, like time rewards.
Oh, okay,
you know?
yeah.
Like, you know how there's like leveling rewards in some games where it's like once you hit level 100, you get this cool cosmetic.
Yeah.
It's like in games like Escape from Tarkov.
You've spent 5,000 hours in our game.
Exactly, or whatever, right? I don't know.
Huh.
It's a thought.
Something, yeah.
Anyway, move on to the next.
Yeah, next controversy. I don't have much to say about this one. I just thought it was another gamer's controversy.
Oh, good.
That was kind of funny.
Gaming. This podcast is just going to turn into a gaming controversy podcast.
There's just too much. There's too much to report on. To get your take on things you haven't heard is neat. So, Pokemon Go. I don't play anymore currently. It's a pretty fun game. You've got a little avatar and he walks around the world and you can get your Pokemons and you go catch other Pokemons and fight or whatever. Or whatever. I don't know. It got nerds out to do exercise. So, kudos for that. But they've had tons of updates to the game since then, and their latest update is the source of all the controversy. They revealed that they were going to have some new like cosmetic updates to your character, your avatar in game, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. I should have pulled some pictures for you because the new update, that like forced update, because it's an online game, you have to update to keep playing. It just like, what's the word, like anthropomorphized all of the avatars. They're all just like fat blobs now. Male, female, doesn't matter. They all just like chunguses. And it's really
like
weird.
We avatar character?
Yeah, basically. Like people are doing side by sides like before and after, or even like the new male and the new female avatar, which again, they got rid of the names in game. I don't care about that. It's whatever. But it's like the feminine body and the masculine body look exactly the same now.
All right, we're gonna have to pull this up.
Yeah, it's weird.
New Pokemon Go avatar. No, I spelled new wrong, so it didn't work. Images.
They just like the female ones show it off best. They don't have hips anymore.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah.
They're just straight.
Also, why did the graphics go back to like Tomb Raider N64?
Yeah. Some of that I've seen tons of screenshots of that. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, they got rid of all of the femininity out of that. What about, is there a masculine version?
I think the masculine ones again just kind of look thicker. Like, give people a slider. I don't know. I know it's silly, but it's like people play this game, and you just like change their avatar that they customize to look like them. A lot of the cosmetics in game people spend money on. They probably bought them because they liked the way it looked on their character, because you can preview it first, and they're like, now you're a blob. And so lots of people complaining like, hey guys, it's not that hard to roll it back, or again, just give a slider so that's an option. Like, why would you force that? If it's not that big of a deal, then it's not that big of a deal to you to just give us the option. But
are they saying it's not that big of a deal?
They doubled down. They said, "Oh, Pokemon trainers, we have a new update for you. You can now change the customization of your eye color."
Oh, freaking great!
Like, wait,
that's
what?
what we all needed.
What? That was it. That was like their only response. It was wild. So that's another company to boycott. Throw them on the list. That's Niantic, who makes Pokemon Go.
It's not in the Pokemon Company.
Nah, yeah, they outsource it to Niantic because they do all the mobile, like real world games. Sure. They have all the database.
Did they do the Monster Hunter one too?
Yes. Yep.
Are those characters a blob now?
No, those characters actually still look fine. So, and honestly, the Monster Hunter armor, pretty cool. Some of the female armor looks pretty feminine, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. That's I don't know how. Like, I don't want to get on my soapbox on this one.
That's fair. That's all right.
Too touchy of a subject. even if even with our friend group, it's probably too touchy of a subject.
But you can agree.
No, it's stupid
Like
that
there should be a slider. I mean,
I agree with you 100%.
Gotcha.
Where like if there's a game that allows customization at all of the character,
yeah,
like if you are able to choose male or female or masculine or feminine or
anything,
cis non-binary Jigglypuff and Marth or whatever, I don't freaking care.
those are Super Smash Bros. Characters.
Yeah. If you get to choose what you are, then you should be able to choose every aspect of it, right?
Especially if you're spending money on it.
You should be able to make the character how you want that character to look.
This is important to somebody.
Whether that's a representation of yourself, actual physically, or what you want to look like,
some persona of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However you want to show yourself, or what's the customize yourself in that game, you should be able to do it. If they allow any amount of customization, there should be all the customization.
Yep.
And whether that's just a slider where it's like on a scale, it's like more masculine, more feminine, or just like there's one character and you get a slide masculine or slide feminine.
Yeah. If that's at the simplest.
Or you can keep neutral, or you can go titch, however.
Sliders.
Or you do the Minecraft thing where everyone is Steve.
Everyone's identical. Yep,
And you know what you do? You get to put skins on Steve. But Steve is Steve.
Steve is Steve.
And like you're still just a block. You're a robot. You're a block.
Yeah. Right. If my expression isn't, the persona, the customization, that's not infringing on you at all. And these obviously weren't. These were harmless. These are video game avatars.
Yeah.
Then let me do it. You don't need to get rid of that.
Yeah. No. But like if
it didn't need to be a controversy.
No.
But it was.
And it's dumb. Like how many people were actually like what they should have done if they're really concerned about people who don't identify with masculine or feminine stereotypes. The vast majority of the population does identify either masculine or feminine.
Yeah.
Whether you are, someone who was born male and wants to be female, or
vice versa,
whatever, or you are one of the fringe cases who fall in the middle where you don't identify with either. Which, whatever, do you, right? I don't care. They should have had a third option. They should have been able to choose masculine, feminine, neither, not
neither. Just invent the new one. And
just put the new one in there.
But they just forced it on everyone, which is a little.
And then
weird.
If they're gonna if they're gonna de-genderify, for lack of a better term, the avatars, then they should just get away from a gendered avatar in general.
Yeah, just make it a blob. Just make it Steve.
Just make it a
Minecraft blocks.
Well, or like a character like that, or make it some sort of amorphous, gelatinized, like the what's his name from Big Hero 6? Baymax from Big, something like that.
Just
right?
a literal blob.
It's like you're, there's no sex or gender involved in that characterization of a body or person or whatever, right? Like you can't do this thing where you're, and maybe not alienating might not be the right word.
Well, it's hard because the game had the customization from the beginning.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. I'll pull you off the soapbox, and as we...
I didn't get on my soapbox.
Oh, okay,
That was
just...
That was the stairs to get to the soapbox.
You were climbing
I have a very large soapbox.
I'll hold you down.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll skirt around the next one. We'll just talk about the fun aspects of the next one.
Oh, no.
Because this one even had a lot that went pretty in depth. Did you hear about Stellar Blade?
No.
It's a PlayStation exclusive game that came out, I think, last week. It's had tons of controversy leading up to it.
Oh, yes. No, I did.
Because it's made by...
Asmongold
has talked about it.
Yeah, I did see some of it.
I'm following it as well because it's a pretty small Japanese... Japanese company. Maybe Korean. I could be wrong on that. I think Korean, actually, because you don't see many, I'll say, actually, good big games come out of Korea. They do a lot of, small stuff and mobile apps and whatnot. But this is looking to be, the studio's kind of first foray into AAA. They hit the big leagues. in a which random side story, their CEO like bought every employee a PlayStation 5 to play the new game.
That's hilarious.
Which like is really cool.
Kudos.
I think that was their Christmas gift. I heard the story a couple months ago.
The CEO needs to be CEO of many other companies.
Right? Like, that's awesome. They're relatively small, but it was like 400 something PlayStations. I mean,
okay, 400 times 500 is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for just like, here's your Christmas bonus. Have a PlayStation to play the game you're working on.
Did I do that math right? No, 200K.
Yeah, extra zeros, right?
200K. It's a lot of money to just dump on
your employees.
No, but good for him.
Yeah. So the game is finally out, and again, I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I can't play it, but it looks fun. It's a cool futuristic hack and slash action RPG. So you're just swinging a sword around. Your character's doing a bunch of cool ninja kickflips and stuff, fighting aliens. Seems like a fun game. It follows this main character, who is a sexy Asian female, because that sells. And they again, I think they're from Korea. They modeled her off of a Korean what's the word? A motion capture actor. Shouldn't be a controversy, but it is, because it's a popular game that has a sexy female lead. And as we can just skirt right around all of that, you can just imagine the controversy that comes from that. And so I just want to support the game because I like the company seems good, and the game looks fun, and it does look pretty. I don't think it'll win any game of the year, but maybe at least for like visual design, some of the landscapes.
Well, it never will, though, because there's a female. This is what I don't get. All right, we clipped the corner of the soapbox. Trevor. This is what I don't get. You have a game. You have a theoretical world or theoretical group of people who critique games.
Yeah.
Who are always critiquing games for being too male centric. The hero is always a guy, and he's always saving the girl, and there's always big guns and blah blah blah.
Yeah, testosterone.
Why can't we have a female character who's graceful and blah blah blah? It's like, and then you get that.
You get that. She's like a bad A.
You get that. Some special forces, amazing sword fighting cyber chick.
Yeah.
Who's the main character in the game? You don't have I assume you don't have an option to play a male character.
The story is about her. Yeah.
You cannot choose to play a male. And then you're mad about it? I don't,
and the game sells, and guys buy it, and they like it.
I don't understand, Trevor. Can you, I just...
Yeah.
And it's not even a white chick.
No. She's clearly Asian. No, I agree. I think you said it pretty well.
People just want to be angry about random crap.
Right.
And it's just
this didn't need to be a controversy,
why can't we just have good games?
Yeah.
It's
just good games, people will buy it. If it's got a good story, it's got good characters, people will play it. And also, people generally like looking at pretty characters. That's why pretty actors and actresses get the roles they do.
Yeah.
We like seeing pretty things.
I mean, let's be honest. Speaking of Henry Cavill. I'm sure they could have done a lot of the Superman scenes with him being in a shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
The Justice League, where he fights the Justice League.
The Justice League, yeah.
Batman versus Superman, is that that one?
Both of them, I think. In the new Justice League.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He's got a shirt off a lot, actually. Somebody could probably break down the statistics of that.
But I mean, there's a reason why that is.
Yeah, no, totally.
And it's because guys like looking at that guy.
Yeah, that's the only reason, obviously. Because guys are like, man, I should work out. Because
every single guy who looks at that and every single girl who looks at that is like, dang.
I want that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every human being is like, wow, good for him.
We like looking at pretty things.
Exactly. And so, if it's okay...
Yeah.
If it's okay to have a guy be sexualized like that, and hey, girls look at other girls as pretty as well. It's
Absolutely.
not just a guy thing.
Anyway, it's great game.
Soapbox is just tempting me.
Great game, great graphics. Yeah.
Are you gonna buy it and play it?
Again, I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Oh right, PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, so
that's rough.
I'd love to, but yeah.
Did PlayStation was that the intent of the game studio to?
Did they have a deal with Sony? It's a good question, actually. I don't know,
because I could imagine that a gaming studio would want their game to be played by as many people as possible.
Yeah. Presumably, like, because it's not a shooter, it's a hack and slash RPG. Maybe they thought it'd be more popular in Asia, and the PlayStation is more popular in Asia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The
Just
Xbox.
just like Samsung is more popular than iPhone.
Yeah. Xbox is more popular in America, and that generally has the Call of Duties, the shooting games. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a reason why they were.
But also, I mean, never underestimate the weebs. So.
True.
Plenty of Americans who.
But how many Americans do you think watch anime on a regular basis?
1/4.
You think 25% of Americans?
I think that's a bit high.
A bit high? I think you're like orders of magnitude too high. I think it might be like 2.5%.
The weebs, Steven. Never underestimate the weebs.
I mean, maybe.
They came out with, they announced, maybe this is jumping into our next one slightly. There's a new secret layer drop in Magic the Gathering that's a crossover with Hatsune Miku. Never heard of her. Wow, okay. You'd recognize her if you saw her, I think.
Okay.
She's the Vocaloid, which is she's a virtual character, but her software makes music. Anybody can buy her software and you can program her to sing and make songs.
Interesting.
She's got the long blue ponytails. She was the first popular Vocaloid, and she does concerts and everything now. And it's like there's tons.
She does concerts?
Yeah, well, her famous programmers behind the scenes, but they don't get any recognition, right?
Oh, this is way too deep.
I know,
for me.
Way deep into the weebdom. But it's
the 9th level of weeb.
Virtual idols, Steven. You see, first we got to start with idol culture in Japan.
Yikes.
No, yeah.
I just learned what baby metal was.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Korean or Japanese?
That's Korean. No, I don't remember. It's Korean or Japanese.
It's one of those. And I was like, what the freak is that?
Baby metal. Yeah.
No, that, there's some, I consider myself a nerd.
I'm an average nerd.
I don't think I'm an average nerd.
Oh, okay.
Because I know what a gun is. I don't think a gun goes when a suppressor put on it.
I know which end of the barrel.
I know how to. Anyway. I know how to use a nail gun, or a circular saw, or a welder.
I've used all of those in video games. It's true, actually.
Yeah, I've used all of those. I've used all of those in real life a million times more. I don't know if I've ever used a nail gun in.
I was actually just using one in a video game yesterday.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a silenced gun.
A nail gun is a silenced gun.
Apparently,
a nail gun would be the worst ranged weapon on the planet. Have you shot a nail gun?
To be fair, it's from Fallout, so that's their alternate history universe. But yeah, they had there's a fully automatic silenced nail gun. I don't know why.
The nails,
This was already a tangent on a tangent anyway.
It would be a fantastic melee weapon.
Oh yeah, sure. You
just punch someone with a nail gun. Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
To use it I don't know if I shot a nail gun from me to you, if it would hurt.
Yeah.
A paintball gun hurts.
Sure.
It would suck.
It would
it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Maybe it would.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Might not even get stuck in me, honestly. Yeah. We'll have to test it.
I mean, I've shot a nail gun. You can pull back on the little safety mechanism around because they're all
supposed to.
Guess what? They all have one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little safety mechanism that you can pull the trigger, and until that safety mechanism is completely depressed, normally against a piece of wood, it won't pneumatically insert a nail into it, right? But you can pull that back and then shoot a nail, and it works.
See how far it goes.
And I've done that before, but it's it just goes, it just spins off.
Yeah, they're not exactly aerodynamic.
Well, first of all, that, and also there's no barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a contact thing.
It just
it's supposed to go literally from there to there. There's no air gap between the nail and the piece that it's supposed to go into.
Use air pressure to push it down, and that's it. It's not supposed to push it out.
Yeah. Anyway. What were we talking about?
Hatsune Miku, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course. The 8th level of weebdom. I need to be knighted now or something.
they have Hatsune Miku now is on Magic cards, so you can. Now it's a crossover. It's relevant. You might have to because you buy every Magic product.
Of course,
obviously.
I love Wizards of the Coast.
You're deep into Magic the Gathering lore, and so now they've picked up a new customer with the Hatsune Miku art crossover.
is it like a set or just like a secret, like
secret layers? So I think this one's 7 cards.
And is it just like different pictures of her on?
Yeah, and the quote unquote controversy for the theme of the episode is all the art looks terrible. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, one of the 7 cards is the only one that's an actual like Japanese artist who like draws Hatsune Miku, and she's famous, she's huge, especially in Japan. They have tons of art to pick from, and they picked like weird AI generated stuff. Not a huge fan of. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to reveal my weeb card on air, but the art does look weird. The faces just look kind of, I don't know. The art style they went with is like different and bad. The card reprints that they picked in the secret layer are not great. Harmonize is like 4 mana, draw 3 cards at sorcery speed.
Oh yeah, it's super good.
That card is worth, I think, 1 cent, but never underestimate the weebs. So all of those cards will probably go up in price. They'll be very expensive. Those versions of the card.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to wrap my brain around this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not 100% sure I understand what's going on.
Right.
So there's
how many drugs do we take before the show?
Yeah, like
Vocaloids, man.
So okay, let's break it down a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Steven, I think that was the end of the topic.
I need to understand what a Vocaloid. Okay, so Vocaloid, AI generated.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not so
pre-AI. These are like 15, 20 years old.
Okay, so just a computer program that has an image of this girl.
Yeah, the image is technically separate from the voice software, but they're almost like a package.
Okay, so it's a voice package.
Yeah.
That you can type in words and put a tune into it.
Yep.
And it'll sing the words in the tune.
It'll sing it with the voice, with the software, of her. Or again, they probably have dozens of different Vocaloids, different sounds.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then people make music using that voice.
Yeah, basically anybody can make any music, but then there's like production companies, professional, that have the I guess the rights to make money off the music, that like own the Vocaloid. Actually, not just the software. So they own the rights to like combine
the persona as well.
Yeah, to combine the art with the music, to do concerts, to make money.
They do concerts.
Yeah, she's actually touring the US right now.
She's touring the US.
In Japan, they don't have the capabilities here in the US. In Japan, her concerts are actually cool because they do holograms. She looks like realistic, like it's 360 stage hologram.
What
like
the heck?
Here in America, it's just up on a screen. It's animated, like she dances and sings, and it's live. She talks to the crowd. She'll be like, "Hey, how's it going, Phoenix?" Yeah,
this is baffling my brain.
Right? It's wild, man.
We need to come up. This would be hilarious. A Dante's Inferno, but for like nerddom or weebdom.
For weebs, yeah.
Like the first level of the first circle of weebdom, the second circle of weebdom,
all the way down to the
ninth.
The ninth, yeah, the ninth circle
of the ninth circle of weebdom is Vocaloids and baby metal.
They're down there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that's probably not even the ninth. I'm sure. Hentai has to be like.
Oh yeah,
weebdom.
It's got to be down pretty low. You even knew what that one was.
Oh yeah, everyone knows what hentai is.
Right, yeah, so maybe that's even higher. If we're just going off of knowledge or degeneracy.
Yeah,
how are the levels rated?
There has to be like a graph where it's like where does this fall on the graph?
Anime stickers on your car.
Dude, I have an anime sticker on one of my ammo cans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I find it so funny. I took it to a range one time. And I took it. I'm shooting with some buddies.
Nice.
And this is when we were in Utah.
They roasted you.
And they were like, "It's on my 9mm can." And we were running and gunning or whatever. And I pulled out my, I had gone through all my mags and whatever. So I pulled out we were sitting in the trucks reloading, and I pull out my ammo can, and it says like 9mm on it.
Yeah.
I have like a thing that says 9mm on it, and it's got some other stickers on it. But then on the back of the ammo can is just this massive like anime girl, like massive tits,
Nice.
just like
Yep.
cat ears, the whole nine.
Classic
Like
anime girl
classic anime
sticker.
girl.
Yep.
And they're like, "What is this?" And I go, "This is hilarious. It's so funny.
It's funny.
Because like those two cultures never meet.
The guns.
I mean, there's like a little bit of crossover,
There's a little bit.
and it's actually gotten bigger recently. It's kind of interesting, actually. But it's so funny to me because we're literally out there, like doing like. I mean, we probably like went through 1,000 rounds of ammo that day.
Yeah. You're like,
Maybe not quite that much, but like
you were doing drills or practicing.
we were
or
doing
whatever
drills,
that
we
day.
were running and gunning, we were doing team maneuvers, like you know the whole. We were out there for hours,
Yeah.
and I just every time we go back to load,
Like, hey guys,
I
check
just
out
have
my anime
ammo
babe.
can with anime girl on the back of it. I'll have to show it to you. It's so funny.
That is.
It's so funny. I got it from a one of the gamer like drink companies. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's not like G Fuel, but it's called Gamer Sups.
Okay.
They're way cheaper and way better than G Fuel.
And they like sent you one in the mail or something.
Yeah, they sent me. I ordered like 4 of their little bottles or like the powder containers,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and because I ordered 4 of them, they sent a shaker bottle
Oh yeah, yeah.
and a sticker with, and they both of them had the same anime girl.
Oh, that's okay. I remember that story now. Where you got
Yeah.
the shaker bottle with it. Yeah.
Yeah, the shaker bottle is weird for me to use because like
Her boobs bounce.
no, that would be. I would use it if that was the case.
Oh,
that would
okay.
be so funny.
That would be hilarious. Yeah.
That would be so. We should make.
That's a good design. Holy cow.
We should make that.
Don't be embarrassed to take this to the gym.
Dude, can you imagine you're shaking up your pre-workout or your protein shake and you just got these like 2 like bean bags just like dunk, dunk, dunk. Dude, that and then like make a testicle version too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Dude, have like the Hulk with like a massive like nut sack.
Goodness.
That would be so funny.
That's a product line.
Do you know how many of those would sell? I feel like that would be
Many.
such a good product line.
Again, the crossover of gym bros and like weebs.
It's pretty large now.
It's getting
I
bigger.
think Dragon Ball Z is like to blame for that.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be embarrassed. This is our like the tagline. Don't be embarrassed of your anime waifu when you're just like you got the gains, man. Like
Yeah, dude, if you're jacked, you should be embarrassed of nothing.
right, like you let your reps speak for you, not your anime babe. Like
No, I think it's hilarious.
yeah,
And honestly, no one cares.
no, yeah. Dragon Ball Z, like come on, that's like up in the first.
Well,
circle.
even if you are like some guy who goes to the gym and is like a weeb,
yeah,
it's like oh, you're a weeb. It's like yeah, I like that anime. I like
Yeah,
the
whatever.
culture. I like like.
you like Western media? Come on.
But it's like saying like there's no difference between someone who likes anime versus someone who likes Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's a
It's
hobby.
the style of art that you like. It's like the
Yeah.
style of game or art that you like. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's only when you get down into the lower levels of degeneracy.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching like tentacle hentai,
Yeah, there's
you probably got a problem or two.
yeah.
Probably not the greatest thing.
Vocaloids though,
And it's weird.
they're pretty cool, man. They're pretty cool.
I mean, if there was one coming to Phoenix, would you go see it?
If she already came, my little sister went.
Oh.
I almost might have gone with her if I'd known. I don't know.
How expensive was it?
I don't know. She went to a place in.
Because let me be honest.
She went to a place in Tempe, I think.
Let me be honest.
You can just listen to the music.
Well. I mean, there's like something to be said about going to a concert.
Yeah.
I'm not on board with this yet.
All right.
But-
All right.
Like, there's something like if you're going to a concert,
Yeah.
the reason that the concert is cool is because it's a bunch of people who like that music.
The
But
environment.
also, like, you know that those people can't be any other place in the world.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With the Vocaloid, that's not true. There could be 75 different concerts going on all on the exact same night.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
And so there's no scarcity idea. Like, there's no idea of scarcity behind it.
I'll have to ask my little sister on that. Yeah. If she's
If-
touring the U.S., is it just the company that owns her, and they're the only ones that are allowed to? So it's like her production company is touring the U.S.
Yeah.
But you're right. Could they also have one in Japan at the same time? Probably.
I mean, she could do a world tour in one night and hit every single country on Earth.
That would be impressive. Actually, somebody should do that.
It's possible.
I'm not the biggest fan of her music because she's more poppy. So it's like my little sister likes that. They have other Vocaloids who are like they do like rock music, man. Actually, it's pretty cool.
But like, you understand what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's no scarcity. So like, if the tickets are like $25,
Oh yeah,
fine. like
That's an experience.
that's a good night out, right?
I'm a hard to gauge because I have a hard time justifying concerts anyway. Concert ticket prices. I don't know. I'm just.
Well, yeah,
I've never really been huge on that. People spend hundreds of dollars to go see Taylor Swift. I'm like,
I agree.
yeah. I even like some artists, but like Sleep Token came, but their tickets were like $400.
Yeah,
I was like,
I was very. I love Sleep Token,
and I love Sleep Token. Yeah,
I was very tempted.
but I told you my little brother saw Sabaton in Phoenix, and they're big, and he loves Sabaton, and they were like $40. I was like, yeah, I'd probably spend $40 to see Sabaton.
Yeah,
easy.
if Sleep Token was $100 a pop, I would have done it
Yeah, okay,
for sure. For sure. 100%.
Yeah, actually, I do like them, especially again the people you're going with. It's a one-time experience. Like that's part of what you're paying for.
A lot of it for me is also like supporting the band behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like you go and like. Anyway, yeah. I like supporting people that I like. Anyway,
right. We pause real quick.
Sure.
I'll let the dog out anyway. We can do Wizards of the we almost got to save the Modern Horizons 3 spoilers. There probably won't be any more in theory this week. Official spoilers don't start for 3 weeks, so I guess these are the leaks, the Modern Horizon 3 leaks.
Been some pretty cool ones so far.
Yeah. And then with the Wizards of the Coast earnings report.
Oh, I forgot I sent that to you.
Yeah,
that was interesting for Hasbro's earnings and Wizards earnings.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll pull up I think I've got the picture right here.
Yeah,
I screenshotted it. Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro's earnings call from the first quarter. What do they have here? Hasbro's overall revenues was down 24%.
Magic the Gathering was up 4%, but everyone's expecting it to drop by 3 to 5%. So
yeah. Oh wait, so 3 to 5 in the next quarter, that's 0, and then 3 to 5 after that is negative.
Yeah. So Wizards of the Coast revenue was $316 million. Their operating profit was $123 million.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep. Which is, $123 million is pretty good. And Hasbro overall made $58 million.
Oh. Wait. Wizards of the Coast
made $123 million after expenses. After operating expenses.
And they're owned by Hasbro.
Correct.
And Hasbro made total
$58 million.
So Wizards of the Coast is literally keeping them afloat.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then if Wizards of the Coast is even projected down, that's not
correct.
That's not good.
Correct. So their entertainment shrunk by 85%.
Holy cow.
So this is video games.
Yeah.
For video games and digital
media.
Hasbro overall was down 24%.
Yeah.
Over the quarter. Whoa, what the freak just happened there?
That is not good or good. No. Again, I'm kind of in a doomsday scenario where either like I want either extreme. I want Wizards of the Coast to pick it up and just start doing amazingly. They change everything I dislike about the company, and it's great. We're back to normal of like 10 years ago. Or I want them and or Hasbro to like crash and burn, and then somebody else has to swoop in and buy them up and then change things.
The problem, I was actually thinking about this.
But then who?
Exactly that.
Microsoft?
This is the question. But,
like what?
I mean, you could have any number of companies do it. Disney could do it.
Yeah.
Whoever could do it. The problem is that all of these companies are not producing what people want. There's not a single large company that I can think of that is listening to their customers and their consumers and then adapting to that in a meaningful way. Mm-hmm. Not even adapting to it, but just like staying the course of what is true to the company and not trying to, make these like huge adjustments at a whim.
Just keep the fans happy.
There's no steady as it goes company right now. And so Hasbro's not doing a great job of running this company.
But who
either
would?
Of the companies. But who's gonna step in,
Yeah, that is a good point.
Because let's Activision Blizzard, they're going to increase on Magic Arena by tenfold. It's like, okay, great, but like they have done really poorly on all their other games.
Mm-hmm.
Not in terms of financials, but in terms of like giving the consumer what they want.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I would have been more intrigued by that prospect.
For sure.
Yeah,
and Disney. It's like 15 years ago, if Disney had bought WotC,
that would have been cool.
It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
If, Microsoft had done it, if Amazon had done it,
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, there was a bunch of companies that, you could have done it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I think that it just needs to be spun off. I think there just needs to be a private investor group.
Yeah. Just old.
We should open a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company.
Okay.
And we should just get a bunch of, try to just say, hey, everyone put in $5, every single one of the Magic players we can find in the world.
Uh-huh.
Say, put in $5. Or however many dollars.
And then we'll save Wizards of the Coast.
And then we're going to buy Wizards of the Coast in this SPAC.
Wow. And then everybody owns part of it.
Mm-hmm. And you and I can run the thing.
Right, yeah.
You can be the chief content guy, and I'll
do the business.
Sure.
Business.
Mm-hmm. Business.
Money.
Except no.
No, yeah.
Because guess what? A company that has an operating margin of 38.8% is doing pretty all right.
It's doing pretty good, yeah.
Like, I could walk into the CEO position, kick my feet up, and do nothing but twiddle my thumbs and watch Vocaloids. Or listen to whatever.
Yeah, both.
And the company would make $123 million.
Yeah, which, would probably be better than... than actually trying to do something and make it worse. So
true.
Just let it float on. Their PR team this week was kind of interesting. I've been texting you. Modern Horizons 3 is the next set that comes out. We only had 1 week break from Thunder Junction. They had some spoilers. Sorry, leaks. The unofficial leaks. Again, there were 2 guys. Some guy on Twitter who didn't hide his identity started leaking a bunch of stuff. Again, some cool cards. Maybe we'll have to talk about them next week. Probably almost assuredly next week.
Yeah.
And then he said he had some tweet of no, guys, I'm all done for now. When I think he reported he had a whole booster box of cards and he only leaked 20. No, I think I'm done leaking cards for now. I was okay, they talked to you behind the scenes. They got you.
I want to know who he was.
Yeah. I should look into that more of did he work at Wizards of the Coast and he lost his job, or he was going to lose his job, or and so then I thought, oh, okay, we probably won't have any more leaks for a while. That guy is done. But somebody else just yesterday or today on a Facebook group was posting from the Commander precons. He got at least 2 or 3 of
the modern deck.
Yes, the Modern Horizons 3 Commander precons. Yeah, so these aren't modern legal cards.
Oh, the cards aren't even modern legal.
In the Commander decks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they have a different icon. These ones aren't modern legal.
That's hilarious.
The rest of the set is straight to modern. Any Commander deck cards, though, are legacy legal, which is the oldest format. So some of those cards sometimes have power implications in Legacy. But modern players luckily just have to worry about Modern Horizons printing overpowered cards. And there are a couple from the leaks that's already seem wild. So yeah, that guy's got some Commander decks leaked, at least all the new cards and some of the reprints. And Wizards of the Coast came out this week, tried to get ahead of the leaks or whatever. I think just yesterday they posted a thing of kind of saying, well, we can't stop the leaks, so we didn't want to do this, but I guess we'll just start spoiler season early.
Really?
Which is kind of an okay play, in my opinion. So yesterday they had actually just official spoilers of some cards, and a couple of them were leaks we'd already seen, and they had a little snarky comment of you might have seen this in, potato quality, but here it is in all of its splendor in the alternate arts. And then they just like leaked some new cards too. It's like, yeah, here you go, get excited. Official spoiler season's in 3 weeks though, so wait your turn. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I have. This is not a strong opinion. I'm not gonna get on any sort of box for this.
Sure.
Soapbox, orange crate, whatever you want.
Milk carton.
Yeah. I'm not. This is not me standing on a. I'm not dying on this hill, but like, kind of feels like. I don't know. I just feel like and maybe this is just a me thing. Like I said, this is not a strong opinion. This is just maybe a me thing.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm a company and I have people leaking my stuff, it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks for me. But like, free PR.
Yeah. Right.
And then like, I'm just gonna go status quo. Like, in my opinion, just like,
whatever.
I have spoiler season in 3 weeks from now. That's when I'm gonna release it.
Sure.
People are going to get hyped again because they're going to see these cards again.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, oh yeah, this person spoiled it, and maybe or maybe not. Do we send him another box in the future? Like, I don't know. Does it matter?
Right. In the grand scheme of things,
it's like, is this going to hurt my revenue?
No.
What is the point of my company?
Anyone who's going to buy this set is going to buy the set anyway, and anyone who
and I'm going to be spoiling them in 3 weeks anyway.
Anyone who's like convinced by the leaks is going to be convinced by the official spoilers anyway. Yeah. So it's obviously it's like semi not good or something. I don't know.
And like it's kind of a part of like gaming culture in general is to try and like find the leaks.
Sure, yeah, Easter eggs, like kind of hunting.
Yeah, and like there are people who will scrape data.
Yeah,
and like post about it on
that happens a lot with just like digital anytime there's a digital game.
Yeah, like for example Smite, they're able to scrape the files of the game and find new gods that are being tested,
new gods, new skins. You're like, hey, you shouldn't have left this in here, we found it.
Well, exactly. But it's just part of the thing, like there's little traces of things that happen, and I always loved looking at the Smite ones because it's every update there would be a new aspect of a new god. It's like, and it's never like it was always really fun because it was it would give abilities and like, but it wouldn't give like a name of the ability. It would just be like line shot X damage,
just like in the code of you have to try to interpret that.
And so it'd be like, and it wouldn't even be like name of a god or like type of god. It would always just be like test god 3.
Nice.
Or whatever. Right?
Like, and he's got a shooting ability. He's ranged.
And it has a stun on it. It's and everyone would try to like figure out
what that almost seems like they're doing it on purpose then.
Well, and so like you'd have like these people like trying to like figure out like, it could be like, I guess we already have like, it could be like, I don't know, what god did they not have in there? Whoever.
They try to guess, from any mythology.
It could be, it could be this person. It could be like Sir Galahad from the Knights of the Round Table or whatever. It's like, okay, sure.
Right.
Like, it's like a fun little thing. And so, like, for Wizards to be... I mean, I don't think they're mad about it necessarily.
Some of the lines in their article seemed like a little snarky, where I was just
but poking fun at it is not necessarily
that's fine. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think it was okay. I think them trying to just be like, hey, here's some official leaks anyway, and here's some alternate arts of the card you already saw, like it's the official spoiler. I'm like, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a strong opinion about this.
Yeah, the last time they did this, they sent the Pinkertons to some guy's door and like took all the cards away from him, and they like that was some bad PR.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's funny though.
It is funny, very funny. The Pinkertons, protecting your IP since 1862 or whatever. Like, apparently,
that's very funny. I just don't think that leaks. I mean, if they're like employees of the company leaking IP prior to like any like decisions being made,
probably just is on your employee like contract. Like,
like that's an issue, right? But if it's like, these sets are printed because people have the sets obviously in hand, right?
It's already out.
It's already being shipped to game stores.
It's just not like, public.
The only problem is that it causes some sort of like pre-release situation where like game stores are like, oh, well, you've already seen all the new sets, so like I'm just going to start selling them on the black market.
Yeah, or some financial aspect of like, I don't know, people speculate on Magic finances anyway, but maybe now they've got a little advanced knowledge. But so does everybody. Has the same knowledge now that it's out in the open. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm
it'd
sure
be
it's
more
fine.
beneficial for someone trading to get the pre-release stuff, open it,
and then
look at all
not
of it,
notify anybody.
and then not tell anyone, because
Not
then they're
leak
going to
it.
be able to go. They're going to be able to go. You know, we thought there might be a reprint of Farseek or whatever.
Right.
But
You sell off the stuff that's going to get reprinted, and you buy all the stuff that is going to have new support, new cards around it. So maybe we
find
can
any synergies or whatever.
Maybe we can leave off the episode with the spoiler for next week. Modern Horizons 3, it's coming. Eldrazi. Tons of new Eldrazi and colorless support is coming,
which is cool.
The official 6-color Magic, and no joke, it's got a lot of stuff, a lot of support.
You're gonna have to redo your colorless deck.
Probably have to, yeah.
I mean,
or at the very least, there's a lot of good new cards to add.
Well, sorry, Magic question. When it says devoid, does that get rid of the colors on its pips?
So Commander breaks the rules. Devoid, for game rules, that card has no color.
Sure.
For Commander, which is outside of the game rules, its color identity is still whatever, green or red. Yeah. So if you want to use a devoid creature, it's got to be in a colored Commander deck. Yeah, but for the purposes of in-game mechanics, like that creature is colorless. So if it's like destroy target colorless creature, devoid makes them colorless.
Sure. And if it's a creature that has red in its mana cost, but it has devoid as a keyword,
he is colorless.
He is colorless, so you can't target him.
Color identity for Commander is red.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Good question. It'll probably confuse lots of people because they're doing Commander precons where they're having it in modern
Commander precon,
and they're having a 5-color colorless deck, so they can put all the devoid stuff in there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it'll be confusing.
No, okay. Yeah, it is.
Not
as confusing as Vocaloids, though.
No.
Vocaloids?
Yeah, Vocaloids. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. In English, yeah.
Vocalizados. All right, we're gonna end right there.
Yeah, that's enough weebs for 1 week.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.